gonna have a great time doing it. So we're gonna wait for our gauge. I got it where I wanted at 35 psi. Now this may be a little high. Good morning, Defiant Jeep. Today we got another treat for you. Today we're going to be working on Defiant, and we got the team assembled. Today we're going to lift the Jeep 4 inches. We're going to be using the Rough Country X Series kit, which I hear phenomenal things about it. And so we're going to go ahead and move forward with our project. So right now what we're doing is we're taking off the front fenders, the front inner liners. We're going to take the wheels off. Of course, we're going to jack up the Jeep, and then we'll go from there. But stay posted so you can see our progress. Okay, so at this point, we've got the front fender's off, the front inner fender liners off. We jacked up the rear, got the rear suspended by the frame, and we got it as high as we can go. We're going to do the same with the front right now. So we're getting it all set up. Once it's on jack stands all the way around, we're going to take the wheels off and keep on moving forward. And we're going to start with the front. We're going to do a total tear down. We're going to go ahead and undo the brake lines. We are going to remove the shocks. We're going to undo the front track bar, and then we're going to start to remove springs and control arms.
Hey Steve, set that jack 7 pegs, 7 teeth, I mean. Should match the same as the bag.
7 is actually shorter than what it was.
What do we have on that one? It's on the other one.
Yeah, I just moved it to 7.
No, I know. I'm saying the back, the one that's already in place. Make sure that matches that. I think it's 7.
Nope. You want to just let the one?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I counted on the jack stand is 6 teeth right here. That matches the rear. You got me?
Yeah, 6.
Yep.
6. Okay.
We're done.
All right, powering up.
We could have framed it for this.
I need a little bit more.
I'm good on this side.
You see? No, I need more. I can't even get in there.
It slopes that direction.
Yep, there's a crown right here.
But also the road slopes.
Okay, I think I'm right on money.
Alright.
Keep these hands out.
Yep, pretty good.
Let's do the the shake test on the bumper. Let's see what happens. Fucking you're going nowhere.
So you have to have an adapter and insulation.
Alrighty, with the Jeep lifted up, we got to suspend it with 4 6-ton jack stands. And we went in that direction because they're actually taller than the 3-ton, not because of its load capacity, but it does help. So with the wheels off, what we're going to do is first we're going to undo the brake lines. We want to undo these brake lines so that when we lower the axle, it doesn't pull on the brake lines and tear them apart. From this point, we are going to remove the front track bar. We're going to remove the shocks, and with the shocks removed, that's going to allow us to lower the axle enough to pull the springs out. Once the springs are out, we can start to replace the control arms and then put everything back together in the reverse order. Alrighty, with progress being made, we've got the front and rear being worked on at the same time, but we're still in the disassembly stage of things. We've got both brands in the back. They're pretty much removing everything that's going to be removed as far as like shock, disconnecting the brake lines, being mindful of the ABS sensor leads. And when everything's done, we're going to be able to remove the springs and then start with the control arms. And the same with the front. We got Kelly and Jay just still diligently working to disassemble the rest of the front. Where the brake lines were already undone, we're working on the front track bar, and then from there we're going to work on the shocks to lower the front differential as much as we can to start putting the springs out and then the control arms. So everything's working simultaneously, but it seems to be a good project, and everything should be done today in no time. It does get a little hot in Vegas, like I mentioned. This is a little desert. We do have canopies to help add with the shade as much as we can get. Alrighty, we're going to keep on chugging along. We'll be with you in one moment. Good progress over here. This is the spring for the rear for the 4-inch lift versus the factory worn out saggy spring. What a difference. The thing is not going to ride like a Cadillac, and like I said in the previous video, if I wanted a caddy, I'd have bought a caddy. I'm going into rough country, so it's definitely going to make a difference. We're going to keep on moving along. We're going to get this done as fast as we can. Alrighty, and just as an update, we have the Jeep disassembled for everything that we need. We have Kelly and Jay up front putting the upper control arms on, and we are now setting all the measurements for the lower control arms for the front and rear. You can see that the rear uppers are already installed. And we're moving along here. You're gonna get that other upper in. And in a moment, I am going to finish setting up the measurements for the lower control arms, front and rear, and we're going to go put those in. Alrighty, just to give you an update, it's been one hell of a long day. I couldn't mention enough how hot it is here in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I keep mentioning, but we've made some good progress. Let me show you Defiant and how she looks right now. Okay, as I mentioned before, I am not a licensed professional mechanic. It's just me and a bunch of buddies that got together, and we're almost done with it. The front is pretty much done. Let me give you a closer look over here. Stainless steel braided brake lines installed, new longer shocks, longer springs, metal cloak bump stop on the top, Terraflex bump stop on the bottom, and new adjustable control arms top and bottom. Let's take a look at the back real quick. We're almost done with the rear. We're actually going to tighten up the front first, but we already have the stainless steel braided brake line installed, and all the control arms, the metal cloak bump stop on top, and the rough country bump stop on the bottom as far as the rear goes. So all in all, we're doing pretty good. It's taking us a little longer, but of course, it's just a bunch of buddies getting together, having a few drinks and laughs and a good time. Had a fantastic lunch with our host. But so far, looking good. Let me take a little back step over here. And you can already tell that sitting 4 inches higher on the new springs, even without new tires, I'll be with the 33s for a little while. But you can already tell it's gonna sit like a monster. Alrighty, I know. It's just a quick update. I know we're so focused on getting this done right now, and I have not been giving you a lot of feedback so far, but that's where we're at the moment. We're gonna go ahead and button it up, and I will show it to you when it's on the ground on its wheels. All right, Defiant Jeepers. First, let me apologize to you. My updates have been a little sketchy.
Yesterday was like super hot. We were diligently working to get the Defiant finished as fast as we can. We spent a good 16, almost 17 hours at my host's house, you know, working on Defiant, installing that lift kit. And we finished pretty late. I think I was out of there like, I don't know, 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock. Yeah, I think closer to 10:30. So yeah, I spent a good 16 hours at their place, you know, right on their property. In fact, right on the street, because the driveway is not perfectly flat, and the garage is loaded with their personal stuff. So I'm not gonna ask them to take their stuff out. That'd just be rude. But I went ahead and I got it home. Stupid dark at night. I bled the brakes enough to have some brake, but I had to limp it home, so it took me almost an hour to drive home. But for the most part, it's done. Lift kit's installed. It's all 4 inches. In fact, let me see if I can turn around a little bit over here, see what kind of image you get there, which is not much. Usually get some sun glare. We're gonna walk around it in a second. But the 4-inch lift kit is installed. Just a few things to button up over here. We did get the track bar installed, and that's adjusted. End links are on. I'm still missing the steering stabilizer, which is all right. It's okay. We'll get that on. And I still need to take it for an alignment and a brake flush. I want to go ahead and just do the complete brake service of changing all the brake fluid, getting rid of all that old stuff and putting new. Since there's already 50,000 miles on it, so it's due for an oil change in the brake system. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Defiant real quick. Alrighty, and here he is. Let's go ahead and give it a little round around here. I mean, you can see that there's a lot more fender space, or inner fender wheel space. You know, so now my tires look a little small, and these are 33s, just ready for 37s now. Let me take a little step back. Actually get a better look of the rear diff cover. Let's take one more look around. Right, and Defiant is actually looking pretty good. So now what we got left to do is the front steering stabilizer. We're gonna go with the dual kit, which is it right here. And since we went with the Rough Country 4-inch diff kit, we're gonna stay to suit, and we're gonna go with the Rough Country dual steering stabilizer kit, which is super simple. It's got like essentially 3 brackets, all the hardware, and the 2 hydraulic shocks that are the stabilizers. And where they're gonna go is right here in the front. If I can get down there. Now, you can see right there where the front differential cover is and the housing. So the largest bracket is gonna go right alongside it. I mean, you're really gonna be touching, God, I don't know what you wanna call that area that looks like it's got a step or whatnot, or a block, like a little wall, but it's gonna be right up against it. So that main bracket is gonna be smack dab in the center. Now you're gonna have the 2 smaller brackets that are gonna be on either side, near to the end of each outer tie rod. And then the shocks are gonna go right in between. Now for most of you that do watch my videos, you know that I do show you a step-by-step process and everything that's going on. But it's just still so beaten hot. It is the end of June here in Las Vegas. It's like crazy hot. I mean, it's just unbearable. So I'm gonna wait for the sun to go down a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and install it, and then I'll show you the end result. But it should be really quick. You know, the bracket itself is 2 U-bolts that take 4 nuts total, and then each bracket on either end by the tie rod ends, they also take 2 U-bolts each and 4 bolts each, and then from there you just mount the shocks. It's gonna be like super simple. Let me go ahead and get this done, and I'll show you the end result. Alrighty, and the job is complete. The dual steering stabilizer is installed. Defiant is now ready for the alignment, straighten up the steering wheel, and to do a brake flush. Let's take a look at the end result over here. Alrighty, starting with the front of the Defiant. We are going to squat down. We are going to take a look at that dual steering stabilizer. And I must say, that is dang pretty. Now, it is hiding the differential a little bit, but that's okay. We know it's there. We can see the Metal Cloak M that I had painted. And right now, she's looking very good, very stable. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the Defiant. We're going to get into a little bit more details. So, for the most part, everything is Rough Country. Dual steering stabilizer, 6-inch lift, all the good stuff. Now you can see,
As I showed yesterday, we got a whole lot more inner fender clearance. There's a lot more space in here. Rough country shocks. And if you notice on the dual stereo stabilizers, I do not have the stickers. That's why they're not applied. Now, touching on the front a little bit. On both sides, inside the spring, I have Metal Cloak Duro Spring bump stops and the Duraflex bump stops for the bottom. You know, those are actually going to work out for me well with this 4-inch lift. Now, as we work toward the back, you can see again more inner fender wheel space, and with the 4-inch springs on the top, we have the Metal Cloak Duro spring bump stops on the top, and the lowers I am actually running the there they are, the Rough Country. See that rectangular plate, the hollow one? That's the Rough Country right there. And front and rear, I'm also running stainless steel braided brake lines. Okay, with the rear higher, just like I showed you earlier today, you can see the Metal Cloak diff cover, and it's completely unblocked because the that muffler that was there has been completely removed. I went ahead and I'm using a MagnaFlow rock crawler kit that really tucks the muffler away. And of course, the passenger side, the end result is the same as the driver's side. Honestly, all I gotta do is put the center caps back on the wheels. I'm gonna recheck my lug nuts before I go. And let's take one more look at this beauty here in the front. Alrighty folks, and there you have it, a 4-inch Rough Country lift kit installed on Defiant with additional parts to help complement the lift, and a dual steering stabilizer for the steering to help eliminate any additional vibration that may be coming through the steering linkage. Ooh, excuse me, I'm a little winded here. Now, before I go, I want to touch on something I said earlier. Last night, when I brought it home, I did the stupidest thing anyone could ever think of. And I drove her for quite some miles, no more than 25 or 30 miles an hour, with no brakes. 100%, number one, the most stupidest thing you can do on the street. Don't do it. Do not do it. You know, I had options. I could have left the vehicle at my friend's house, had my wife pick me up. I could have called a tow truck. Any other option that would have made it a whole lot safe. I'm thankful. I feel very blessed that I made it home safe, though it was a very stupid decision of mine. Do not do what I do. Don't do it. Safety first. I preach it so many times. Safety first. But yeah, thankfully I'm good. So at this point right here, since I still don't have any brakes, I'm gonna I'm gonna call a tow truck. I'm gonna have them haul it to the local shop from right here where I live in Las Vegas. I'm gonna have them do the alignment, check the toe, straighten up the steering wheel, and bleed my brakes for me. I have a real strong idea on how to do it. I just have very little experience on bleeding brakes, and when it comes to safety, they're more experienced. As far as brake goes, I'm gonna let them do it. That pretty much tops it off for today. Thank you for hanging in there. I know it's not as detailed as my other videos, as I mentioned earlier, but you know, this is such a big job for someone like me who's not a licensed mechanic. So it's like, I don't do a lot of these too often, but at least it's done. Hopefully with a little bit more experience, I'll be getting faster at this. But coming soon is www.defiantjeep.com, where you can find all your merch and other items as I throw them out there. Don't forget to join us on all our social platforms. And don't forget to join us at Defiant Jeep. We are I'm sorry, not Defiant Jeep. Oh my God, where did I go? At Desert Wranglers. It is www.desertwranglers.club. We'd love to see you on the trail.